Hello, and welcome back to Sharing a Chapter a Day. This is Dara, and today I will be reading Chapter 17 of Engagement in Peril by Dara Odoe. Chapter 17 is titled Summer Break and Activities. During the summer month, while free from our school and classes, my friends and I would go to the neighborhood boys club and ride our bikes around the city of Denver, over hills, under bridges, and around parks, and just riding around neighborings and neighborhoods and city. Sometimes we would go to the park to fish, have picnics, and hang out, playing various sports like football, soccer, and catch. And when we needed to earn some extra money, we even mowed people's lawn and grasses and cleaned their yard. My friends and I were quite active then. Something terrible happened to me during that summer. On a sunny Sunday morning, I had gone to and borrowed a neighbor's bike to ride around town, but it had a flat in the rear tire, so I offered to take it to the local mechanical shop to get it fixed. But sadly, the shop was closed on Sunday, so I walked the deflated bike back to his home. When I was almost at his house, a group of Hispanic teens, a gang of sorts, stopped me and said that the bike that I was pushing was theirs and to give it up to them. I argued that it wasn't theirs and that it belonged to my friend down the road. But my argument gained no remedy, so they snatched the bike from my firm grip and threatened to beat me up. As a result of my ignorance and misfortune, I lost the bike to the unruly group of young thugs, and my mother had to buy my friend, the one that I borrowed the bike from, a brand new, huffy bike, because I got his taken away, even though it wasn't my fault that I got it stolen out of my hand during that midday in public. One mischievous thing that a few of the project children did during that summer was stealing a video game from a local department store several miles away from our homes in the project. On that worrisome Saturday, during that summer months, 4 of my friends and I ventured off to a mall about 20 miles away on our Huffy and BMX bikes. We rode up and down the hills, across bridge, and even into the neighboring town. Our destination was a shopping mall, where it was often patroned by many families and their children in Lakewood, Colorado. Once we were there, my friends and I, with intent and their plan conceived and rehearsed, directly went up to a toy store in the mall. I didn't know that we were going to take a Nintendo video cartridge without paying for it. So this is what we did. Each of us would ask the store attendant to see a different game cartridge. And while we were talking and sharing about each game cartridge for the Nintendo system, and when he wasn't looking, we slipped one of the game into our pants pocket and gave the rest back. And then we walked out of the store without paying for it. Having pocketed the unpaid merchandise, and shamefully, we got away with it that day. I was scared of what we had done and had doubt about it, but didn't fuss over the thievery we had just committed. Afraid that we would get caught and be punished by the law and our parents. But we got away with it that day. I was still apprehensive all the same. I rode as quick as I could away from the mall then, trying to make it home and into the safety arms of my mother once again. I have never shoplifted again from the day forth. The rest of the summer was spent playing around and discovering new things around our neighborhood and town. That summer, it was the first time that I acquired my own issue of Playboy, which I stole from my mom's husband when it came in the mail in a black plastic wrap when my parents weren't home then. Always, after I viewed and rummaged through the pages of naked women then, I would hide it in my secret stash somewhere in my bedroom's closet. Several days later, my brother got caught with it while he was amusing himself with it in our bedroom. He had hid it under his pillow in our room, and he got a beating from my mother for having it in his possession. My brother had pouted over the beating that he got from my mom, and sort of blamed me for allowing him to find the magazine in my hiding spot. I giggled from his accusation and told him that he deserved the beating for leaving it under his pillow. I would also play with the other girls and boys in the project. We played Asian-style jump ropes, just like the jump rope games I played years earlier during those treacherous days in and during the refugee encampments. So the project kids and I would jump ropes during the day, and at night we played hide and seek and hid behind small bushes and shrub and crawl our ways on the newly cut moist grass, sneaking slowly without being seen toward the home base, which is usually a large tree or a side corner of our concrete apartment. Occasionally, on warm weekends, several friends and I from the project would go to the nearby park to play football, soccer, and go fishing at nearby lakes and river, always keeping what we caught to take home and share with the rest of our family for supper. We also played marbles and coin toss just to keep our adolescent mind busy and to keep time of our mundane summer break. And if time permit, we would walk around our area and look for fruits to pick. We would find homes that has a fruit tree or two. We would ask the home or property owner if we can pick their oranges, apple, pears and plum, peaches, grapes, or whatever. And most of the time, the people that have fruits growing in their yard usually allow us to pick as much as we want because they hardly ate the fruit themselves. And if the owners weren't home, well, we sometimes would sneak into their yard and pick their fruit anyhow. Yup, we stole fruits right off the tree. But not for gratification or anything. It was for consumption, and of course, we shared our picked fruits with families and friends back at the projects. A funny event that happened that summer that I remember was during the time while playing outside with the neighbors. I was chewing gum and a Vietnamese girl was looking at me about 22 feet away or so, and for some reason, I shot the gum out of my mouth and it projected and was flung into her open mouth. She instantly puked it up. I started laughing. She got pretty upset from my outburst, but forgave me later. It's not like I meant to do it purposely. It was quite the lucky shot then. During the winter months, when boredom hits its peak, my friends and I would shovel snow for our parents and neighbors for spending money. And besides that, we would make snowmen, snow angels, and play snowball fight, and went to the nearby lakes and took risks, took our chances by walking and biking across the thin sheet of frozen ice that covered the entire lake. Slowly and carefully, we walked side by side in step as though we were a group of military personnel marching to the same beat. Our goal was to get across the entire lake from one end to the other, and luckily we always made it through without any mishap or accidents, although we knew the danger and hazard of walking and playing on thin ice. We were still young, ignorant, and adventurous then. Thinking back now, I was quite reckless as a child during my youth, not thinking about the danger and hazard that my friends and I got ourselves into. Thank God we never fell into the frozen ice and chilly water then. I don't want to imagine what might have happened if our luck had run out then. And I feel so fortunate to be able to live on since then. Unlike now, my health and vitality is no longer as it once was. And I look back to the day when I was young, strong, full of vigor, and full of life. I now live in a mundane state of mind and half the lifestyle of a hermit, keeping myself away from most shunning and active life. I don't really allow myself to participate in anything. My attrition now gotten the best of me. I'm just contemplating and awaiting the inevitable. Thank you for listening. This is the end of chapter 17. Be on the lookout for chapter 18, titled About Sex. Until next time, this is Do, Ra, Mi, and I'll see you later. Thank you.